Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome to the Super Ninja Steel review for Reaching the Nexus. That is right, episode 20 of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel has aired, and with it, the series finale. Maybe we should call it the story finale. We do still have another episode. We have the Christmas episode coming up, but it of course has no bearing on the actual plot of the story, so it is an outlier. It does not count. The story is now done. Game over, ninjas win. Sweet, that was fun. What's up, cat? We start off with the narration as we do most other ones, except just, you know, previously on Super Ninja Steel, which is awesome. It's that deep voice, you know, that does the Super Ninja Steel stuff normally. I absolutely loved it, though, because they were like, Calvin and Haley, blah, 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 they broke up. She tried to contact Calvin, but it was too late. Oh my, stakes are high at this point. Also, on a random note, for wondering, I'm recording this Saturday night, so I'm potentially a little weirder of a mood than I would be at, you know, 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Oh boy, I've watched it twice now. I watched it twice before I did a review on it, and if you want just a quick my opinion on it, there were some great moments. There really were, but it just overall left me going, okay, guys, okay. And maybe this is just me as an adult looking at it with adult eyes. Things like, why didn't the bombs explode? If they barely hit a Kodabot and went kaboom, Victor Armani's pants, those balls had to stop with something. And I know, out of context, this makes no sense. Alright, let's just get into it. Madame Odious has a bunch of people, like half the world's population probably, under her spell. And of course, they go to the school. Why? Because Mick tells them that is where the Ninja Nexus Prism is. Oh my goodness. There they go. The Rangers see it, and it basically picks up exactly where we left off. The Rangers are going to split up. Haley and Sarah go, and then the guys stay together, minus Calvin, of course, because he's been brainwashed. The Rangers don't know that yet, but they find out in the next 5 minutes, so that's fine. The guys kind of just stood there, and they had their own side plot, and then you have the girls' plot, and the girls' plot was way more interesting. I have some issues with the pacing of it, with the cutting back and forth between them. It was too jarring. There were too many times where I was just like, wait, what? And then it's resolved within the next minute or two. I feel like this episode, they could have chopped out a thing or two, especially the one with the evil dad. They could have totally chopped that out and gave that extra... We'll get to that later. The Rangers split up. The guys go try to save Mick and Redbot and everyone else in the school, and the girls go try to figure out and stop Badana and what's-her-face, them taking all of the humans onto the ship for the Warrior Dome. As they're hiding, they see Calvin had been... hey, can I have one of those? You'll see why in a second, friends. Calvin and Haley spot Calvin, and therefore they go onto the Warrior Dome. This is what I think of. It's Saturday night, friends. Super Ninja Steel is dead. Long lives Beast Morphers! Thank you. So when the guys figure out what's going on, Preston tells Redbot, like, gather all the Super Ninja Steel, get out of the base, because they hear Mick is going to take Madame Odious to the base. Which he does. Unfortunately, Redbot's packing up, and they only have the length to walk of a little bit of a school. Redbot's packing up, trying to escape, and they show up in time. Odious just completely blasts through the door, which I really appreciated. So she blasts through the door, Redbot gets knocked out, Mick takes all the Super Ninja Steel, and they put up the forge, light up the forge, because they got something to make. I thought getting a forge, and this is just one of those many timing things, like sometimes in the show, it takes Mick or whoever a while to make a ninja star, but this giant ninja star thing that Madame Odious wants is done very, very quickly, which, you know, again, it's like timing stuff. Like, the Rangers could have made it there within a few minutes, And in another episode, whenever they needed to stretch out, a ninja star could take all this huge long time to make. But in this case, it doesn't matter. The Rangers get to like the fan lady thing, and they're up there and they're like, oh no, she's making a ninja star. And then his communicator goes off. I don't know who's, one of them goes off. And yeah, Mad Boy's like, the Rangers are here. Kaboom, just blows that general direction, and they're like, sweet, we got what we need. We're out. We're not even gonna fight you. We're not gonna try. We're just gonna take you out. Sweet. Gets what they need, go outside because they have a Ninja Nexus prism to put a giant star in, and I feel like they just use Ninja Nexus, Super Steel, Ninja, like, all of them just really blend together, and maybe that's my bad for not paying, I guess not really committing to memory some of these names, but I feel like I'm like, is it the Ninja, it's the Ninja Nexus prism, and it's the stars, and so she has the Ninja Nexus prism, she has a giant star, and she's going to make herself, it's the Ninja Fusion Star, I guess? She's gonna make herself really, really powerful. But of course in all of that, hey, the base gets destroyed. Not that we really get to see much of it. I love, like, this is a throw, this whole episode review in general, and sorry guys, I'm just kind of going, comparing it to other finales, thinking of how this made me feel. Like the Dino Charge. Oh my god, Dino Charge's base getting absolutely destroyed with Kendall and Keeper, and like, that was an epic base destroying. It really was. And this was like, Odious kind of comes in, you see a wall, their portal gets knocked out, or their secret entrance, but that's it. Call me a sucker. I love when the bases become absolutely destroyed, and we didn't really get that, and that made me sad. Another thing, we didn't get a helmetless scene at all with the Rangers. I mean, I would say you expect that at this point, but I really hope that isn't the case going further. We've already been in this for a while, and all I've made it to was Odious attacking people. Let's just get back to that. At this point, Haley and Sarah see that Calvin has been taken, and Haley, of course, just chases after him because Calvin's not on the ship and she has to go save him. You gotta think it's the love part goes in the I'm just gonna jump in and save him without a plan. I'm sure any of the other Rangers would have did it, but it was nice that Haley was they're sitting there by each other, and maybe I'll have a picture up or whatever. Sarah's like, what are we gonna do? We can't go in there, and Haley is just gone trying to go rescue Calvin. I love that she was just like, screw this, I'm getting in. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on the ship. I'm gonna save him. Neato. So they purposely get taken. They get on the ship, and immediately, this is the first thing I thought of was these Codabots, they have no sense of, don't you dare sharpen your claws on the couch. They have really no peripheral vision, apparently, because both times they're like, we're gonna turn like this, and the Rangers just right behind them. But then again, we just had 2 episodes ago something as simple as trying to get trying to get a teacher, get his job back, and they were using their ninja powers for sneaking around like that. So I guess they should be good to go on the ship. The boys finally get back to the girls after they recoup from being blasted by Madame Odious through the door. And once they all kind of convene again, we find that Mick and them have all taken the Super Ninja Steel. Robot is rebooting, so he's gonna be okay, and they get the message to Haley and Sarah that it's actually a satellite on board the ship that's sending out the giant brain controlling wave. Tells the girls right out, hey, there you go, you gotta go find it. They do notice Victor and Monty though, and this is, it's like plot B at this point. You have the guys, you have the girls, then you have Victor and Monty. With Victor and Monty, they're still on board the ship, they're still dressed as clowns, because remember, this has literally just been minutes, so they're still they're dodging giant things that could kill them. They jump off. Cosmo's like, what are you doing? They're like, come on, give us something else, He's like, here, juggle these, and they end up being bombs. So they're juggling, and you learn, oops, one of them, Monty drops one or something, and hits a Codabot, and he explodes. So they keep this in mind, and oh no, they're juggling. Once a lot of this goes on though, once Sarah gets noticed, or like, as they go, Sarah and Haley try to go find the satellites, they find a giant freaking door with a satellite on it. Like, come on. It's a little on the nose. Just a lot. But they gotta do that. Sarah, however, is like, just total kicking butt and taking names. I love it. Haley goes running off to try to find the satellites and to go stop them. Sarah's like, no, I got these Codabots. And she just, like, let's go. Just kicking, throwing. Eventually, she gets overcome. But, I mean, it's a little later. But when she gets overcome, there's like 10 Codabots surrounding her. This girl put up a fight. But Haley goes and she notices, what do you think was behind the giant doors that had the satellite on them? A big satellite. That's right, that was behind the satellite doors. She goes over there and is immediately stopped by Calvin. Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna say dun, dun, dun a lot on this. She gets stopped by Calvin, who's obviously evil and has his ninja steel sword that he is going to be using to attack her. Whoops. Well, the guys are figuring out that Mad Modius has all of this stuff, and she's throwing Mick through the new ninja whatever prism that she has into the Ninja Nexus prism. Choom, it's spinning up and like a purplish, you know, like an evil color. While they're watching that, they get attacked. And who do they get attacked by? Leah. Dane Romero. What? That is Brody and Levi's dad. Now, I guess we saw him last episode dropping the boys off, so he wasn't completely out of nowhere. No, he was completely out of nowhere. There's all this other plot. There's all this other stuff set up, and all of a sudden it's like, ah, your dad's evil and needs to attack you now. Why? Stop, Hasbro. Hasbro, if you're watching this, stop with the dad plot. Like, give us a year or two without it. Just, dad. And then there was no dad plot in this one. All of a sudden, like, boom, now he's evil and he's gonna take you out. Just, come on. It came out of nowhere. It served no purpose to anything in the plot. You could have literally left all of that out. Really would not make a lick of difference. And that is a big problem when you have a finale that is struggling with too much stuff going on and not enough care towards what is going on, and then boom, you throw in another character. Like, come on, he didn't need to be seen. He could have had that last little, like, bye boys, have a great day, and that could have been his send-off. It threw me off so much. So I'm like, why is he there? So now the guys, naturally, Odious waits for her new star to go up because they have to fight evil random dad who's random. Prism Star is charging, and while this is happening, Haley is fighting Calvin. Calvin nearly takes her out. Haley's got the gun, like, don't make me hurt you. She hits the satellite instead, breaking the brainwashing before Calvin, like, nearly killed Haley. Like, she was hanging off the Galaxy Warrior ship. She totally could have been off. But hey, she saved herself. Self-rescuing princesses. There you go, Haley. So, mind control beam is starting to wear off. The two lovebirds meet up with... well, I don't say they actually meet up with Sarah first. As it goes off, the first people who are affected by the brainwashing going away are obviously the ones on the ship, the source of the sound. All the hostages and stuff start getting alerted. They're fighting. The wah goes off. Hostages go out. Victor and Monty flee because all the guards go away, even though there's still the giant audience of monsters. You know what? We're gonna do this now. What is the deal with the giant audience of monsters? Are they just there? Can they beam out when they want to? Do they beam in? Like, did Victor and Monty also kill? And it's just what happened to all of the giant monsters on the ship? Do they not care? Do they just beam in for an episode? Do they live on the ship? Maybe the ship's also a B&B. I have no idea. But what? They're just there. They're like, yeah, here's, at least like with Sledge and with Dino Charge, there were consequences. When something happened on the ship, monsters ran free. There have to be, and if you look in an audience of that, there's got to be at least 1,000 monsters on there. Have you tried to count the seats? Who the crap knows what is happening with them, but there you go. Victor and Monty run off, and they still have their juggling balls because they're juggling, and they just lift open their pants and they fall in and they don't explode. Doesn't make any sense. Just doesn't. It's a kid show, Liz. It's comedy. Don't think too much on why they say if you touch them once they explode, but then when you touch them twice they don't explode. It's made for little kids, right? Little kids don't care about things like how the world works. Fantastic moments though. Calvin and Haley, when the spell was broken, Calvin and Haley getting back together, the hug, the feels, that was fantastic. Calvin under the brainwashing, nearly gonna off Haley. Haley like, I don't want to hurt you, because she knew, I mean, she had the gun, she had everything, like, she was just gonna shoot him. She knew she would be okay out of this, but it would have to be to get through Calvin first, and she took the first shot to take care of the brain. Was it to try to get rid of the brainwashing on Calvin first? Was it just to complete her mission, knowing that this is the last thing I'm gonna do before I die? I don't know, maybe it wasn't supposed to be thought that deep into, but I enjoyed it. The Rangers meet up, brainwashing's over, Victor and Monty and the rest of the hostages are there, and the Rangers, this is another thing that really threw me off. Victor and Monty had a great part. They escaped. The Rangers, Calvin, Haley, and Sarah, who were on the ship, run into all of them, and Victor and Monty, they don't think it's strange to see their friends on the ship, because they knew civilians were being beamed. You know, they ran into all these hostages. Of course, there's a good chance those three could be together. When they, I don't want to say like convince Victor and Monty to be heroes, but they're like, okay, let's escape. And the Ranger, well, oh gosh darn, we can't do it unless someone's gonna be a hero, and like the darn Power Rangers, and they're just not here. Like, why couldn't you just said, we need someone to figure out how to get this teleportation system gone, and let them go? They like tried to convince them to be heroes, and then they're whole, we are gonna save the world, hee hee hee. And yet what they're doing is ridiculously heroic and brave, and at the core of all of it, they were the clowns on the ship. If Monty thought I could figure out how to get the beam stuff going, they could have easily gotten themselves out, but they didn't. They waited until they were the last ones off. Victor didn't take the first beam off, you know, being like selfish Victor, like, I need to get out of here, you know, grab onto someone and get out. They stayed until the very, very end to make sure every hostage was taken care of. I think that gets some major points. But an issue that I get with it is that they're using that stupid Vulcan skull bum 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 in the middle of them being freaking heroes. Give them something more epic. Kind of hate myself a little bit right now. In the end, Victor got his 50th trophy for downright being a hero, for staying somewhat calm in the face of danger, and for getting all of those hostages off the ship. Victor and Monty, of course. Monty got to share it with him, which is cool, though. Whenever they did the pan scene thing, it just went to Victor. But you know what? This whole friggin' show, he's trying to get his 50th trophy, and he finally does. And by God, he at least got it for something that he deserves it with. They got captured, and yeah, it was for a stupid reason. It was a ton of people were trying out to be on that show. They were the two that were picked, and whenever it came down to it, they were like, we're gonna be heroes. And maybe it was all for dumb, but you know what? They did it, and they saved a lot of people, and no, it's not Vulcan Skull from Countdown to Destruction levels of epicness, but I think they at least made us leave Victor and Monty with a somewhat better taste in our mouth, especially with them being presented with their trophy and the Rangers all clapping and whatnot. Still haven't gotten to the end of this episode yet, have we? Nope. I'm not kidding when I say the plot is just, it just jumps too much, and it's hard to even give a review going in order of what the show does, because it doesn't flow well. Where are we at? The Rangers on the ship teleport down to the Rangers on Earth, and they basically see Madame Odious turning into Super Ninja Madame Odious. She doesn't really have a name. She merges with the Ninja Nexus prison, basically, and becomes very, very strong, basically taking the Rangers and making them go whoosh. Of course, the brainwashing has been wore off, so Dane Romero, the daddy-o, has been non-evilified and is there, and Mick is now good too, and they, you know, run off because they had power. Remember, they had powers for last season finale, but they don't have them this time. Anyway, they run off for their stupid lives, and the Rangers fight, and they realize that they can't defeat her. And there's no Zord battle in this one, but what they realize is if they take their new ninja prism stars. No, there was the ninja prism star, like the big one. And like, that's kind of what Odious has. And Brody's like, remember that there was a big one and it broke into 6. And that's how we got our power stars. And Preston's like, maybe, or whoever, maybe if we combine all of them, we can make them into like one ultimate thing. And you're like, okay, you know, put them all together and make one ultimate thing, big ultimate attack, like that. Okay, you know, it's probably, I'm sure it's been done before. It's a very safe but effective way to end a baddie. But that's not it. So they take all 6 of their powers and they put them together to create one super powerful thing. It gives them all powers of all 6. It makes me wonder again, where are all of the baddies on the ship? During the fight, Victor and Monty are the last ones again out, and Badana and Cosmo, I'm about to pour one out for Cosmo though. Badana and Cosmo find Victor and Monty and they're like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be entertaining. So maybe they were with like keeping all of the monsters on the ship entertained while the Codobots took care of everything. They didn't realize bad stuff was happening. Or maybe they were in the broom closet doing it. I mean, I have no idea. Like, Brax was dead. Badana had to have a rebound guy, right? So I'm saying Cosmo was one of the few competent people on the ship, which makes me very sad. But Victor and Monty still have all of those balls that they were juggling, that whenever you threw them and they hit something, or rather when they hit something, they exploded. So they basically just went, whatcha, and they, yeah. Right? I'm really ticked about that. Now I have to buy a new long sleeve shirt. But they, you know, throw all of the bombs, and but they hit the beam and they go off the ship and the ship explodes. So they off Badana and Cosmo and I guess all the other 1,000 monsters that were on there, including Necrolight suit that was used later this season again and then still on the ship. The ninjas, with their new powers, attack Madame Odious, and honestly, in one of the most anticlimactic endings ever, they defeat her. They're like, ninja power! Ah! You know, you have like Brody jumping off of stuff, and they defeat her, and that's it. I don't know, it just wasn't that epic. Let me give you a little reenactment. It was the Rangers. And then here's Badana. And then they, like, you know, meet in the middle, and it's, but unlike Harry Potter where there's the glow, because of the reverse, they're starting to get her, and they're like, this is your last chance to stop. It's like, when have you ever freaking given her a chance to stop? Like, where did that come from? That has never been relevant at all for this show. But they give her a chance, and she says no, and she's destroyed. So, ta-da, show's over. Ninjas win. Except this time he says, game over, ninjas win. Which is weird, because that hasn't been his catchphrase the whole time. But I'm going to take it as game over, as in the game of Galaxy Warriors ending, ninjas win. At least that's how I'm going to take it. That's probably what it is. Yeah, Victor and Monty get their 50th trophy, and with that, the Rangers and the Ninja Nexus Prism part ways. The Nexus Prism basically just sucks all the power out of them and flies away. And then the Rangers are left with the sad part of saying goodbye to Mick, and I guess kind of to Redbot, although really he was just like a, we love you too, Redbot. Man, that man, it's just like a walking tuna can. Like, you have no point. But after all the heartfelt goodbyes to Mick, he's like, but I'm staying, and I guess they just assumed he was gonna leave, because it's kind of what you assume things do if they lose their powers or their powers go away, you know? People from far away leave, and he didn't, because he enjoys teaching shop. But the Ninja Nexus Prism is on, and the Rangers live on, still being a team and still training, you know, as the Ninja Nexus Prism moves on to the next people who need it. Wow, that took a while. I was planning on moving shots, and this was actually only going to be a starter temporary stuff, but once I got going, as you can tell by the length, things just kept going. Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel. You gave me some good moments, but I'm definitely ready to move on. I hate that, you know, when you look at it, you're like, this is one of the worst series of Power Rangers ever. But that has nothing to do with the cast. With the guys who 3 years ago, you know, 2 years ago, when I were at Morphicon, we saw them for the first time in their suits, and you saw that look of terror and pride and excitement, and you knew those were going to be our Rangers. And regardless of what the show is, regardless of how the season pans out or the dialogue or the monster fights, those are our Rangers. And by God, I'm going to defend those Rangers from any criticism. They worked hard. You could see from the pictures, you can tell how well the cast got along. And it just sucks, because I feel like for another year I'm left going, you know, like with Super Mega Force, the cast was great. Really, it seemed like they genuinely liked what they did. Same with Super Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel. And regardless of how you feel about the season as it ends and as a whole, we can close the book on it now and we can look back at it. And sometimes history is kinder on things, especially Ranger seasons. Sometimes not. But you can look back and maybe see a little bit of the better on it. Me personally, I will think back fondly on it. It was the first Power Rangers that my daughter got to watch. You think this is the end of the second season, my daughter's almost 2. She knows, whenever it was like Ninja Spin, and she knows the theme. She dressed up as Preston for Halloween. I got her that blue Ninja Steel costume, and she loves it. She loves Ranger helmets. She loves Rangers in general, and to know that this was her first season is going to mean a lot to me going down the road. Just like, Beast Morphers is probably going to hold a good place in my heart, because she'll be 2, 3, 4 watching it. Oh, I'm rambling now. You know what? I think a lot of this is going to be best told at a Ninja Steel final thoughts kind of video. So I'm just going to wrap up this as far as the episode review is concerned, because it was just, that was the finale and that was the episode. We're going to see these characters one more time. Stay tuned for the Christmas episode. Guests are coming back, and I'm really excited for it. Thanks, Super Ninja Steel. It's been a run, and I'll see you in one last episode, and I'll definitely be seeing you guys for the Super Ninja Steel, I guess, review? Maybe not even a review, I don't know. We're just gonna end it like that.